A winter blast has hit our region, leaving behind cold temperatures, wind, snow, and ice. And while we didn't see much snow in Baltimore, temperatures will continue to dive and dangerous wind is on the way. On the eastern shore, this is a look at Easton, where winds are really blowing things around from snow to traffic lights, making for treacherous conditions out there. WJZ has a team of reporters covering this winter blast. Let's start with Meg McNamara updating temperatures and snow totals. Meg?
Well, Mary, so depending on where you are in Maryland, you're facing different threats. So the radar and satellite showing obviously that the threat for snow continuing over the eastern shore as these bands of snow just repeatedly move over those same areas. So that's why the snow totals for Ocean City near 11 inches. Whereas for us here in central Maryland, the threat will now be the bone-chilling temperatures and the whipping wind. So a wind chill advisory that will be through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning as we're looking at wind chill near 10 below. So that's what we have to expect tonight. If you're in the eastern shore area, you are still looking at more snow on the way. So Baltimore, we're at 25 degrees. Notice this range of temperature. So lots of mid-20s here, but thanks to those strong northwesterly winds. So these aren't even the gusts. These are just the consistent winds. We could see gusts, though, up to 50 miles an hour overnight. That's making it feel very different. So feeling like 9 degrees right now in Baltimore, feeling like 14 for Annapolis, 9 for Patuxent. Do want to show you some of the damage here. So Ocean City, we're looking at 11 inches there. Salisbury, 10 inches, 4.2 for California there. Annapolis, 2 inches for you. And then Columbia, just a mere 1 inch. So it just depends on where you are. Of course, we're going to continue to track this storm and time out what we can expect through the overnight hours. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Meg. Let's go now to Mike Helgren live in Ocean City, where they've seen almost a foot of snow. Mike.
Vic, it is still pretty bad out there. The ocean is right over there, and we saw some people trying to boogie board a short time ago. Now you see some of the heavy equipment trying to move this snow, and one of the big issues is the ice that's gathered underneath it. We saw so many people getting stuck in this. These are some big snow drifts over here. This one is probably about up to my waist. They're trying to clear them out, but they're worried about blowing and drifting snow tonight. Punishing hurricane-force wind gusts, snow, and frigid cold created dangerous conditions on Maryland's eastern shore, which bore the brunt of a powerful cyclonic coastal blizzard.
Now, how would you say this compares to other storms that you've been in, winter storms?
Well, for here, it was the worst one that I've ever seen here, for sure.
The governor declared a state of emergency. State highway crews used almost 2,000 pieces of equipment to keep roads passable.
People say, oh, it's not that bad in certain places, but there's ice, there's blowing wind conditions, and very dry snow that's creating, in some cases, 6-foot wind drifts, and we've seen cars completely buried in snow.
The angry Atlantic churned in Ocean City. Hundreds of people got stuck or in accidents as the storm intensified. More than 100 in Salisbury alone.
Be safe, drive slowly. If you start sliding, don't accelerate, don't slam on the brakes, just kind of take your foot off the gas, let yourself coast.
The storm cut power to some and caused coastal flooding, and the extreme weather is not over, with winds continuing and temperatures dropping to record levels as some of the coldest air in years blankets Maryland. And we're still feeling some very strong gusts out here, and you can tell that the temperature has fallen. It really does feel bad out here, and this is a real health hazard. 5 people have died this winter in Maryland because of the cold weather. Big equipment in here trying to clean things out. We'll continue to follow their progress. It's going to take some time. Live in Ocean City, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Mike, thank you so much. Now let's turn to Rick Ritter in Easton, a little ways from the beach, with how things look there. Rick?
Well, Mary, Easton is still one of the harder hit areas. We are live with the WJZ Mobile Weather Lab. We're going to take a quick look at the temperature here. About 24 degrees, feeling like 15. We've even seen it get down to 12 at times, but the wind gusts right here about 17 miles per hour right now. We've seen those get to 20, 30, 40, even coming over the Bay Bridge. Officials had said they were up to 50 miles per hour at times. Some tractor trailers actually not allowed to cross the Bay Bridge because of how dangerous those conditions are. Here along Route 50, traffic getting along just fine. Everything going pretty smoothly, which is certainly a good thing. Although when we came over here, we had seen a couple of tractor trailers that jackknife, causing traffic delays for miles, if you will. And with those with the temperatures going into the low teens overnight, the Eastern Shore could get pummeled over the next 24 hours. Massive storm roared into the Eastern Shore, riding over the Bay Bridge. Its power was quickly obvious, unleashing whipping winds. Icy conditions that caused this tractor trailer to jackknife on the other side and dumping up to a half a foot of snow on Easton. One of the hardest hit areas where some hunkered down for the day.
We probably will not leave. Yesterday, I made sure we had everything for a couple days.
Like many, Hillary and George Holzer woke up to a winter mess.
It's been cold as heck for the last week, so, you know, it's like, okay, this is just more of the same thing.
While they're not leaving their home, others who tried learned the hard way.
It's because we don't have a lot of thread tracking on our tire. It's so slippery and icy out there. It's just, we're sliding everywhere.
A winter that's already been smacking Maryland head on and shows no signs of slowing down. Back out here live along Route 50, Governor Hogan expected to be in Easton within the hour to assess the impact of the storm. But again, the winds are the big concern out here over the next 24 hours. And guys, we are only weeks into the winter season, and it's hard to believe that it could get even more nastier out here. Back to you.
Rick, thank you. Let's go now to Kimberly live on the western side of the bridge with more on the conditions there. Kimberly.
And Vic, it stopped snowing a few hours ago, but much like Rick is talking about out there in Easton, we've just seen the wind pick up since. In fact, down here you can see how that's forcing the snow to accumulate against buildings, against walls. A lot of people here in downtown Annapolis kind of staying out of the heart of the city today, hunkering down in all this wind and cold. Beneath the wind-whipped stars and stripes, a blanket of white over Maryland's capital city.
When the town looks so beautiful like this too, I think it's like a postcard.
A picture-perfect storm, but one that comes with a lot of cleanup.
I could see guys busy at work then, and most of the streets I've been on are pretty good.
The mayor says work well underway Thursday before the snow even stopped falling. Plows, shovels, even a few brooms. Clearing 2 inches off the streets and sidewalks in Annapolis, but competing with the 50-mile-per-hour winds, blowing it right back, sticking just enough
Got the wheel out of the way.
to leave some drivers spinning. On foot, fewer holdups, and a first for Fabio, visiting from Brazil.
It's fantastic for us to see all the snow so bright and white.
Well, Marylanders brace to see much more this winter. And back out here live, this is the big concern right now, that ice on the water. City leaders say just stay off. No matter what it looks like, waterways are not safe to walk on, and they say please make sure to keep your pets and kids off of that ice as well. Reporting live at Annapolis tonight, I'm Kimberly Eaton for WJZ.
Okay, Kimberly, be safe coming back when winter weather strikes. Remember to download WJZ's weather app to keep track of our changing weather. Get hourly, daily, and extended forecasts, plus severe weather warnings. Just search WJZ Weather and get our app.